4th and 16. You're blitzing all night long. It's working. And you only rush 4? You don't blitz on the last play and you give Sam Hartman all the time in the world? What are we doing, man? You let him drop a 55 burger on you? Come on, man. That's ridiculous. Me personally, and this is just me, I wouldn't take that level of disrespect. The Week 5 recap. Man, oh man, mama, there goes that, man. Yesterday was nuts. Yesterday was one of those types of days that solidifies how great the sport of college football is. It was amazing and it was awesome. And I know what some of you may be sitting there saying, because I will acknowledge this, there wasn't a lot of great games. There wasn't a lot of close games. Some of the games we thought may be close, they turn out being blowouts. It happens. But, and I have a big but, the difference is, and why I still think it was nuts, is because the games that were close, they were super close until the end. We had many games that were good, but to me at least, these were the 3 that stood out the most. Notre Dame Duke, can't wait to talk about that. LSU and Ole Miss, arguably the game of the year already, because I stated on Twitter, I thought it was the game of the week, but everybody's like, I don't know, might be the game of the year. And last but not least, Georgia and Auburn. That was a sneaky good one, and we also got to bring this up. What happened to Florida? They got beat by 20. There's a lot of stuff we're going to go over, and you know we're going to do exactly that. This is the Week 5 recap. That's all there is to it. It's plain and simple. And oh yeah, by the way, you thought I forgot? No, I didn't forget. There's a top 20 matchup on Friday we got to speak about as well. Let's not waste any time whatsoever. Let's get straight into it. And oh yeah, real quick. Hold on. What is this? So I'm scrolling on the comment section this morning, seeing what you guys had to say about the Bama-Mississippi State game. And I come across this comment. Have you ever seen something in your life or on your phone and you glance at it and then you look back, you do a quick double take? That's what I did. Do y'all see this username? Matt B. Bald. And oh, guess what? I didn't even notice this, right? I'm like, whatever. I read the comment. We'll get to that in just a second. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on. Is that me? The profile picture, that's me. Ain't no way. But anyways, I guess, quote unquote, Matt B. Bald stated, Matt with a ski mask, please make that happen. Now, if you don't know what I guess Matt B. Bald here is referring to, is in that video, you know how we do the live reaction on Saturday. I stated, hey, I wore a headband this week. Might have to bring out the Pooh Shiesty mask next week. You never know. Have we unlocked the new character, Pooh Shiesty mask? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. But that's not the point. The point is, why is your username Matt B. Bald and your profile picture is me? I thought it was already crazy enough in the comment section when people putting hashtag Matt B. Bald and all the other hashtags. But this is to another level. That's really besides the point, but I had to bring that up and share it. Hold on. It's got 2 replies under that. I want to see that. Derek1909 said, with the top cut off so we can still see that. Yeah, all right, bro. Yeah, I'm done with this. Let's just get back on track here. You know how we like to do things around here, starting out with our 11 a.m. games first. Well, actually, my apologies. Let's start out with this Friday game, Utah and Oregon. I don't have too much to say because if you watch this game, you know it wasn't close. And the reason it wasn't close is because Utah's offense is awful. They're terrible. Why they're terrible? Well, I got those in there. They don't have their starting quarterback, Cam Rising. And Nate Johnson, ladies and gentlemen, gosh, he just had a rough night. He didn't even complete nearly 45% of his balls, 8 for 23, 100 yards. You're not going to win many games at all going 8 for 23. Just not going to happen. And the craziest part is Utah's defense still played pretty dang good. They just don't have any help on offense. They're so bad. That's all there is to it. That's my only storyline. Utah, they don't have their starting quarterback. Starting out hot, though, at 11 a.m. I'll talk about this later in the week. You know I like to talk about Colorado separately. USC and Colorado. I will talk about this game tomorrow, Monday. Have a separate video for it. And the only thing I'll say in this video is I got a lot to say. Another 11 a.m. game that I think shocked everybody, not because this team won, but the score, Kentucky and Florida. Good gosh, man. What happened? Well, I don't know why I'm saying that because I know what happened. Ray Davis happened. Shout out to Ray Davis and shout out to Kentucky. I'll address the team in just a second. He won this game. Ray Davis beat Florida. He is the running back for Kentucky, if y'all don't know, and he had 26 carries for a whopping 280 yards and 3 touchdowns. The game was over from the start. Kentucky dominated from start to finish, and that's all there is to it. You hate to see it, and it's really a head-scratcher considering they beat Florida, and it seemed like they were going to be on their high horse, but I guess not. It goes back to this. I've said since day one, fire Billy Napier. I don't like the guy. I'm not high on him. His potential at Florida is max winning 9 games a year. And last time I checked, Florida has better standards than that. And here's the point I want to emphasize. It's not that you lost to Kentucky. Kentucky's a solid ball team. They're undefeated. They're going to be ranked when the new rankings come out. The problem with this, and I think Florida fans, their problem with this, is you didn't even compete. Not competing against Kentucky That's embarrassing. Florida has way more talent than Kentucky, way more. And you couldn't even compete? That's the frustrating part to me. Getting blown out like this, not a good look. I'll leave it at that because if you're a Florida fan and you saw this game, that was enough damage. But I will say this, Kentucky's looking solid. I don't want to say they look really good, and here's the thing about all this. We'll find out how good they really are in this upcoming week because they played Georgia. Georgia's undefeated, and Kentucky is also undefeated, so that'd be a good way to measure them. Speaking of Georgia, why not? Let's talk about them next. Our 2:30 games, we got the Auburn Tigers, Hugh Freeze, and that witchcraft of a stadium in Jordan Hare and Georgia. Wow. What about this? When I was previewing the game, I said it's either going to go one or two ways. Way number one, Georgia blows them out from start to finish and wins 45-7. Way number two is extremely close. Auburn has a couple turnovers. That witchcraft in Jordan Hare Stadium, it starts happening, and it's going to be close. It's going to be down to the wire. Turns out, option number two is what happened. And I'll tell you this much. I loved every second of this game. This is always one of my favorite games of the year in the SEC to watch. I don't know, just always liked it. Maybe it's because I live in Alabama and it's cool to see two rivals go at it where I don't have a horse in the race. I've always enjoyed this game, always, and where do we even start? Within the blink of an eye, Auburn jumps out on Georgia 10-0. And I saw this coming from 10,000 miles away. I knew Georgia, they was going to respond, and they tied up 10-10 at half. Early in the third quarter, what happens? Georgia has another turnover, and just like that, Auburn is leading Georgia 17-10. Fun fact about those 17 points, 14 of those came off of Georgia turnovers. And what concerned me was Auburn was tied heading into the fourth quarter 17-17, and Georgia gifted you 14 points. It's great that Auburn capitalized off those turnovers, but I wanted to believe that Georgia wasn't going to mess up in the fourth quarter, and they really didn't. They took care of business, they did what they did, and Auburn, the storyline of Remedy is still the same. Your offense is bad. And what makes it so awful is, and we talked about this heading to the game, Hugh Freeze even stated this, Peyton Thorne and the wide receivers have terrible chemistry. They can't get on the right page, and that's a dang shame considering we're heading into week 6 now. Gotta fix that if you want any hope whatsoever of saving this season for Auburn. Because remember, like I said, 14 of your 20 points came off of Georgia turnovers. Take away those 14 points, you only scored 6. You did score the points, but it goes back to this. Georgia, they gave you a little head start. They helped you out. I'll show you these numbers because I do think it's important. The better quarterback in this game won the game. Carson Beck, 23 for 33, 313 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Check out his QBR, though. 91.3 on the road. SEC environment, hostile. That's unreal. On the flip side, bro, Peyton Thorne, the QBR, it does a disservice because Peyton Thorne just didn't play a great ball game or even a good ball game. 10 for 19. Okay, it's about 54 completion percentage. 82 yards, that ain't going to get it done. 0 touchdowns, 1 INT. And it's not that he played bad in this game. He didn't play bad. He was great on the ground. 12 carries, 92 yards. But the problem was he wasn't great. And we all know this. If you want to upset the number 1 team, if you want to beat a top 10 team, you have to play great. When we see all these teams upset Alabama, how they beat them? Their quarterback plays their A+++ game. When it comes down to it, if you want any chance of beating a top 10 team or upsetting a team that is way better than you, your quarterback has to play great football. Not good football, but great. Look over the last 10 to 12, 13 years of teams that have upset Alabama. Think of those amazing quarterbacks that were on those other teams. And it's going to be the same thing for Georgia heading forward into the future. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the last 2 quarterbacks to beat Georgia was Bryce Young, Heisman Trophy winner, and Mac Jones, who was also, top 5, top 6 in the Heisman as well? Was there one quarterback in between them? I don't know, I may be missing one. But the point is, normally great quarterbacks beat Georgia and Alabama, and Peyton Thorne wasn't great. The game was good, really good, and I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, well, Georgia, they're not looking good. They only beat Auburn 27-20. What's up with that? Well, here's your unbiased take of the day. I'm going to remind some of y'all know this, but I'm going to say it again. I'm an Alabama fan. I'm not going to say this win impressed me, but I definitely thought it was a good win. I don't understand these people that try to discredit an SEC win on the road in one of the most hostile environments in the country. I don't get it. Sure, you didn't play your A+ game, but Georgia didn't play bad in this game. Not bad at all. Auburn played their B- game and Georgia played their B+ game. That's all there is to it. When are people going to understand that winning on the road in the Power 5 during SEC player conference play is one of the hardest things to do in this world? And even Kirby Smart stated after the game. It's hard to win on the road in the SEC. It's hard. I thought it was a good win. I don't understand what all the fuss is about. And oh yeah, by the way, now I think about it, a game we just talked about, if you don't think winning on the road's hard in the SEC because it's not a top 25 team, you saw what happened to Florida, didn't you? Yeah, that's right. I'm going to put a stop to all this. I don't understand the people hating on Georgia for this win. Good win and an even better game. I was just happy and pleased it was close because I always love seeing Georgia and Auburn play close games. Also at 2:30, I thought this game was going to be better. We had Kansas and Texas. No need to speak on this too much. Kansas starting quarterback, he didn't play, Jalen Daniels, and that killed the mood for me because their backup quarterback didn't do too great. Quinn Ewers played typical Quinn Ewers ball, and it's Texas versus Kansas, man. Let's not try to act like Kansas is a good football team, because they're not. I'm not going to talk about this game whatsoever. Congratulations to Texas, though, for winning a game you should win. That could have easily been a letdown game, and it wasn't, so good win. Got to bring this up as well. Michigan beat the absolute brakes off of Nebraska 45-7. Dude, it's so funny watching Nebraska lose. I love it. They flat out suck, and if I was a Nebraska fan, I would have been entered the transfer portal. They got to shut down that Nebraska football program. That's a volleyball school now. Anyways, continuing along here, I think that's it for 2:30 games. Heading on down here to our 5 p.m. kickoff. I know, strange kickoff time. We got LSU, the Tigers. Go Tigers. Ed Oshron, shout out to him. And Ole Miss in the lane train. I can't believe it, guys. I cannot believe that Ole Miss pulled out this game. And the main reason for it is because, well, I was actually shocked it was close in general because I thought LSU was a great team heading into the season. And despite the loss to the Seminoles and that one bad half of football, I thought they were heading in the right direction. But man, giving up 55 to Jackson Dart and Lane Train, it's embarrassing. And what makes it 10 times even more embarrassing to me is because you just saw Alabama hold Ole Miss to 10 points. And then you let them drop a 55 burger on you? Come on, man. That's ridiculous. Me personally, and this is just me, I wouldn't take that level of disrespect. It was the battle of the quarterbacks. It was the battle of the offense. You don't need to tell me that. You see the score. Jaden Daniels, he couldn't have played too much better. 27 for 36. That's great. Over 400 yards. I didn't even see that. I haven't even checked his box score yet. 4 touchdowns, 0 INTs, QBR 92.7. Nice. Also, I believe, he had 99 yards on the ground. Jackson Dart on the flip side, 26 for 39, nearly 400 yards as well. 4 touchdowns, QBR, extremely similar. It was just one of those games, man. One of those games where you knew from the jump no defense was going to be played whatsoever. It was back and forth all day long, and I knew in the first quarter there was going to be a lot of points scored. And at the end, I thought Ole Miss was going to try to blow it and give them the game, but they clutched up. Crazy win, good win, and also you felt like Ole Miss really needed that game to save their season. Because coming off of a double-digit loss to Alabama and losing a heartbreaker to Ole Miss in back-to-back weeks, that would have killed the team morality. And speaking of killed the team morality, I don't know how LSU fans or that team's feeling. The season's over, and I hate to be that guy, but it is. You were supposed to contend for a championship, make the playoff, and you're already out of the mix. 2 losses, and it is impossible to make the playoffs. Sorry. But that should be the last of your concerns, because you lost to Ole Miss. Heading into the week, I stated I think LSU is a better team than Alabama, but now, no, I think Alabama's better than LSU. You got a lot to work on, so good luck. Moving on down here, Oklahoma beat the crap out of Iowa State. Not going to talk about that too much. Iowa State's not a good football team. And last but no, we got 2 more, but let's start it out. Let's start with South Carolina, Tennessee. We'll save that Duke and Notre Dame game for last because I want to talk about it a lot. Well, all week long I was going back and forth myself. Should I go with South Carolina? I wanted to, but I didn't. I picked Tennessee, and I'm glad I did. They won. But remember, heading into this game, I stated South Carolina, they have the better quarterback. Spencer Rattler, he's better than Joe Milton, and he was. It's a shame that Rattler's offensive line is like that middle school 1-ply toilet paper that was in the bathroom, but it is what it is. Can't do anything about it. Joe Milton threw not 1, but 2 pretty bad interceptions in this game as well. Didn't really matter at the end of the day because Tennessee doubled up South Carolina and then put an extra one on them. I just thought it was clear and evident in this game that Tennessee, their potential is pretty dang high. Potentially, they're a top 10 team. But the thing with Tennessee is you don't know if they're always going to play this good. Good win, South Carolina, they're a scrappy bunch, solid team, and you beat them handily. We saw only a couple weeks ago South Carolina was beating Georgia 14-3 at the half, and they played them good. Biggest takeaway from this game, though, is Tennessee's running game. They need to utilize it more. They had, they had 238 rushing yards and 239 passing yards. To me, at least, that's Tennessee football. Not just throwing the ball 60 times a game, but also running it. When they have run success, it makes it that much easier for Joe Milton. And even though he did have the 2 interceptions, I thought he looked more comfortable out there. He still looks questionable at times, but good win, and we'll leave it at that. And last but not least, saving the best for last, we got Notre Dame. Why'd I say it like that? We got Notre Dame and Duke, sorry. I don't really know what I was going for there. I was going to be like, Notre Dame, but like, it just came out corny. Yeah, like I was saying, though, we got Notre Dame and Duke, and I did. I'm going to remind you guys, I picked the upset. I picked Duke to win this game, and they should have won this freaking game. I'm just going to jump straight into the last play. 4th and 16. You're blitzing all night long. It's working. And you only rush 4? You don't blitz on the last play and you give Sam Hartman all the time in the world? What are we doing, man? Gosh, that made me mad just for Duke's sake. I'm not a Duke fan by any stretch of the imagination, but I was pulling for him because I picked him and it's an upset. I wanted to see the upset. Everybody wanted to see the upset. The same reason we wanted Notre Dame to beat Ohio State. And it's 4th and 16. I can't get over this. The blitz is working. You don't blitz. You let Sam Hartman sit back there in the pocket all day long and he scrambles for 20 yards. Gosh, that just, whew. I could imagine that being my team. I'd have put a hole in my wall. You think I'm playing? I'm not. Let Alabama do some crazy stuff like that. It ain't going to be pretty. And realistically speaking, I thought Duke was very fortunate to be even in the position to win this game. Riley Leonard through the air wasn't efficient, and the best part of Duke's game was a rushing attack. And the reason I say Duke was fortunate to be in this game is because they only had 323 total yards of offense. Their defense was saving them, and Notre Dame, their third down offense was terrible. I think there was a stat, they were like 0 for 10. They were 0 for 10 on 10 straight third downs. That's bad. They wound up finishing the game 3 for 15. It was a slugfest, it was, and at the end, Notre Dame pulled it out. Y'all saw the crazy play, the crazy run, and then Estime, he ran it in for the win. That's all I'm going to say about this game. I'm not going to talk about the first half. I'm not talking about the third quarter, fourth quarter. I can't believe Duke didn't blitz on that last play. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. You got to think about it like this, guys. People in life, they do better when they're comfortable. The same thing can be said for quarterbacks. When it's 4th down, I don't want the opposing team's quarterback to be sitting back there comfortable. I want him under duress. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy making videos. Me personally, I would have blitzed, and I can't emphasize that enough. And oh yeah, wait a minute. I almost forgot to mention, what about the Alabama-Mississippi State game? Matt, you're a Bama fan. How are you missing the Bama game? Sorry, I guess I just forgot because they didn't finish till midnight. Had a late start, kicked off at like, what was it, 8:09 p.m. Man, this was a late game. And my biggest takeaway from this game is Alabama, I was very pleased with how Alabama played and they took care of business. I'm very happy as an Alabama fan coming off of this game, heading into the Texas A&M game. Anytime you can win 40-17 on the road, we'll take it. We will take it, but the storyline of this game is this right here, and it's the only thing you need to know. Jalen Milroe, the X Factor, 10 for 12, 164 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, but I'm going to highlight this for you, circle it, whatever. 0, and I repeat, 0 interceptions. QBR of a whopping 96.8. Here's the kicker, though. On the ground, 11 carries for 69 yards and 2 touchdowns. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is how Alabama's going to be successful. We don't want Jalen Milroe to throw the ball 35, 40 times a game. No. He's a bull in a china shop. If we can do this, and it's not likely that you're going to have another game where Milroe only throws 12 passes, but this is what we need to be doing. We need Milroe to run the ball at least 10 times a game and only pass about 20, 25 times a game. And the recap to this game is fairly simple. Alabama's defense, they showed they're still great. They got a defensive touchdown. That was big in the offense. They're picking up things. It's looking like Alabama, they're putting the pieces together and things are starting to click. And I say this after the live reaction in the game. Yes, I was pleased with how we played, but I also want to throw in there Mississippi State is not a great team, so no need to overreact to this game. It was a really good win, though, and I think Alabama, they're starting to look like the older Alabama we were used to. But who knows? Maybe they go into A&M next week and lay an egg. Guess we'll have to wait and see. That's it for the Week 5 recap. I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts down below. But, Roll back!